welcome to Silver. This is season 6 of the World Championship. We've had 5 incredible seasons of bronze, I should say, not silver, goodness gracious me. And here we go then, it is time for racing then, and finally we've also got official cards as well tonight, which is absolutely fabulous. And we are starting off with the Alpines, and who were the only team, it was not AlphaTauri, to win the Constructors last season, and we've got a driver who is returning to the grid as a full-time driver, and that is Dr. Troops. He only took part in 2 races last season, so this is very much it, out of frying pan and into the front end. So Alpine, Alpine have got very high hopes then for Dr. Troop this season. We have also got Scooby Stew, who will also be driving as well. Had unfortunately Scooby Stew, a bit difficult season last season for Scooby Stew. We've only that 1 point then, but he's hoping for bigger and better things with the Alpine team this season. They are the Constructors champions. Good luck to them, and good luck to both those drivers. Ferrari are up next, and the Ferrari team then finished second in the Constructors Championship last season, which was very much down to Dynamo Dan's incredible efforts in that Ferrari last season. Very much scoring 9, I think it was about 80% of Ferrari's points set. The first ever bronze champion will be driving for the Scuderia this season. Of course, he's gone from Red Bull over to the Ferrari team. 5 wins then for New Potato Underpass, 12 podiums for 6 pole positions, and New Potato then, so high efforts, and of course he finished 5th in the Drivers' Championship last season, I believe. And Itemites, I remember, he very much hit the pinnacle of his ALR career right from the get-go. He won his debut race in Belgium last season, didn't he? And goodness gracious me, unfortunately he hasn't been on the podium since then, no, so hopefully he can get back on the podium sometime this season. He's got 22 chances, Itemites, I have said. Up next is the Alfa Romeo team. Just like Ferrari, Echo scored about 80% of Alfa Romeo's points last season as well. But Alfa Romeo are now the 3rd garage along in the order, because of course they finished 3rd in the Constructors, of course. Alfa Romeo did, and in the Alfa Romeo we have the ever-present Cirrus Mushroom, who has not missed a single Grand Prix in what he is scheduled to take part in ALR. Of course, he finished 4th in last season's championship, and big things are expected of Cirrus Mushroom this season, in my humble opinion as well. Can he get promoted back into silver, which is where he started his craft for ALR? And he's got a very strong teammate in Brooksy, a multiple Grand Prix winner from the Cobalt days. In bronze, he has not finished no higher than 2nd so far, but he did have that incredible podium last season as well. But hoping Brooksy, hoping for bigger and better things this season as well. A lot of drivers in bronze has got a lot to prove this season. I need to take a break already. Red Bull are up next, and in the Red Bull, and of course Red Bull powered by Honda evolved, depending on the Red Bull powertrains, depending on where you're from. But yes, Red Bull team are next. They're 4th in the Constructors last season. The Red Bull team were, of course, that was very much applied by New Potato, of course. And Vestier won the last race of bronze last season, didn't he? Vestier did that, so he is going to be very much out to make his mark. And he finished 8th for the World Champion in the Bronze Championship last season. 2 podiums just named, and only 2 DNFs as well, but he's only had 11 career starts, Vestier outside. And another returning, then, of course, he's heard about Dr. Troop. Also got Cryptic Alibi, a seasoned veteran at ALR from previous years. 27 starts for Cryptic Alibi, who joins Vestier, and he's also got Grand Prix win as well. Red Bull, I've got 2 race-winning drivers then hopefully will take them to glory this season then for their Red Bull team. Looking forward to that. 5th in the Constructors Championship from last season is the AlphaTauri. They're very much in the news today, aren't they? After the news that came out then earlier on today about Nick de Vries, unfortunately. But however, in ALR World, then the AlphaTauri, who were hoping to get off to a strong start, and they have a man who is very much ever present in the point scoring archives. I think the Vintage, who is almost the most, I think he's joined the most experienced driver in bronze history. If he races tonight, he becomes the all-time experienced driver, beating Ayrton, and I can't remember who the other person was, I apologise. Kiki, who had 2 pole positions last season for the McLaren team, so hopefully he can convert one of those 2, hopefully he can convert it into a win this season as well. So only 16th, no, unfortunately, it was the race that let down Kiki, unfortunately, last season, but he only had 12 starts as well, Kiki did. He does get get to the finish a lot, but unfortunately not usually in the points set. Six of the constructors last season, I believe I'm up to, is the Haas team then, and here is the American muscle machine then, the Haas. Serious Marshall, we really didn't want to be in the Haas this season, unfortunately, but I must say I quite like the car this season. It looks quite nice, doesn't it? Dynamo Dan, then, who was runner-up last season in bronze, and is trying to make a fist of things, and of course remember the most devastating of blows, and Dynamo Dan was in the championship lead for majority of last season, but came up a bit short. 4 Grand Prix wins in his first season in bronze, and 11 podiums as well for Dynamo Dan then. So can he go one better and win the bronze championship this season? Marsky, I was very harsh to Marsky in the season review then, but this man has also got a Grand Prix as well. Another team with 2 Grand Prix winning drivers, and Marsky hoping for big things. Of course, he's also a former runner-up in bronze as well. Back in season 2, he was second in that World Championship last season. Mercedes are up next, and Mercedes had brought back the black livery then, which I quite like personally. I think it's a beautiful looking machine. Now is it going to be as beautiful on track as it is in terms of looks then? We'll find out then, and of course Mercedes then are 7th in the constructors, I believe. Next up it is Winnie then. Of course he drove for Ferrari only a couple of times towards the end of last season. He applied in his trade more often than not when he was part of Colpo grid then, but he has 7 starts when he does, and he did finish 6 of those 7 races as well when he did that. So hoping to get some points this season on the board for Winnie, but let's see how he does in that Mercedes. And another returning as well, Jacob the Slayer then, who also making a return back to the grid as well. So good to see Jake Slayer back in as well. He's only ever had 1 start in bronze. Slayer has because he's normally more often than not been driving in silver. So yeah, a bit of a change of pace then for Slayer. He only took part in one race in 2022. He will have a bit of race rust then as well. Williams are up next then, which possibly has the best livery on the grid in my opinion. Absolutely beautiful. It might be because of that Duracell battery on the airbox, but I'm not that shallow. I am actually. I do love stuff like that. And who is going to be driving the Williams team? And of course, if you watch the driver draw, you would have seen, of course, the man who had the most pole position last season, TK, he's our very own Charles Leclerc. He gets a lot of poles, but can't convert at the moment, unfortunately, TK. Let's see how he does then for this team to go forward. 21 starts and 10 pole position in those 21 qualifying efforts. Impressive stuff indeed. That he could have and should have won at least 2, 3 Grand Prix last season. Instead, he only got the 1. And of course, Duncan Dave, who will be driving alongside as well, jumping from the Aston Martin team over to the Williams team as well. Duncan Dave, and hoping again, he's another guy, he's another driver that has a lot of finishes there, but can he get himself into the points then for Duncan Dave? I still remember his debut very fondly, and I'm sure he was in Cobalt actually. And last but not, I think it's actually second to last, is the Aston Martin team then, as of course we heard that Duncan Dave and Kaz did a decent job for Aston Martin last season, but of course they was always behind the 8 ball, weren't they, Aston Martin? So I hope they need to get themselves back up the order in the Aston Martin. We have Siggers Butler, of course, a man then who, a driver then who loves a good defending, good attack as well, doesn't he? Siggers Butler, of course, remember the British Grand Prix where he potentially could have won that race there. It was so close, wasn't it? An incredible race at the end there. Gino took these fours there in that incredible wet race there. I remember that one very fondly indeed. And Swan Shanks will also be flying the flag over from Alfa Romeo to the Aston Martin team as well. Swan Shanks making his 40th Grand Prix start tonight as well. 10th in the championship back in season 4. Season 5 wasn't much to write home about, unfortunately, Swan Shanks, but of course he did join the majority of the way through the season. So Swan, that was a fair representation. And last but not least, the McLaren team had an absolutely diabolical season last season in bronze, didn't they? As unfortunately they they had the lowest points ever in an ALR 4 championship season. Hungry Styles then will be flying the flag for the Papaya. Then Styles had a great season last season, I must say. He finished 9th in the championship. He had a podium as well. He should have and could have had a lot more points as well. He had 9 DNFs last season alone, didn't he? Styles, and otherwise he would be very much higher up in that championship as well. And last but no means least, the former bronze admin, now a driver. Goodness me, watch out, bronze driver's head off. He can go, might be able to get some revenge there for some of Smithy's decisions last season. 10 starts for Smithy Almighty in his former bronze life. And of course, he has finished in 10th position Smith from Whitehouse, but not many points scoring record there. And now we go on to trackside then for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Hashtag ALR from Equals there. Hashtag, and of course, this is all. And of course, this is also sugar. I don't turn that down. And of course, this is Serious Mushrooms season. Dynamo Dan's got no sound. Then I thought you meant on the stream then, which would have hurt my feelings a bit there because I was waffling away. Right, here we go then, and yes, we are now starting. That is going to be quite difficult for Dynamo Dan here, isn't it? Because without no sound, he ain't gonna be able to hear a shift, ain't gonna be able to hear shift revs or anything like that. So that's Dynamo Dan, who is still probably reeling from the heartbreak from last season. And now he's also got technical gremlins before we've even started. Tonight's proceedings. So just watching TK, lovely in the Williams car indeed. Then so let's see what TK can do then. Also. So it's well, and great just to see the official cars and rather than the multiplayer cars. Don't get me wrong, you had some beautiful cars out there on Sunday, but it's not as good as seeing the real cars in action then. And last night, then of course we've seen that for the first time this season as well. Going down into turn 1. No, it isn't turn 15. Of course, we had the closest finish in ALR history last night, and it was Dylan taking the first Grand Prix win of his season. And Dylan, of course, remember a bronze champion back from season 3. That can Dylan get silver? Can Dylan become the first man ever to win the bronze and silver championship? That has not been done yet. 2 men have won silver and gold, but no drivers. I say, goodness gracious me. Of course, we're all goodness gracious me. That was me getting a bit sexist there, wasn't it? Good gosh, there. But yes, no driver in the world so at the moment then has ever won a bronze and silver championship. So that is something that we've got to keep an eye on for Dylan going forward in this championship then. But yeah, closest ever finish then between Young Lights and Dylan last night. Absolutely incredible race there. It really was indeed. So I'd say that was even closer than silver, and then the other second closest race of the finish of the ever in ALR now, which was back in the Dutch Grand Prix between Ghost Recon and Nude Potato. So and Nude Potato then, as we just watching TK coming down the back straight as well then. So as TK, we're on board with him now. Let's see what he can put then on the counter. Excuse me, I got real bad real bad at the old old cold again then. Up to the line then they come then, and let's see then, and TK has gone fastest on a 29.797. Then Kiki has gone second fastest in the Alpha Tauri. Of course, Alpha Tauri, this is the only championship where they did not win the constructors championship last season, which was pretty disappointing to say the least. As they come up the hill now, apparently I've got no sound then, which is cracking stuff, and it's every time I get a Windows update, which is brilliant. Gosh, I hate it. I really hate Streamlabs. Right. Let's see what's going on here. Sure, this is sometimes just use your PlayStation, isn't it, really? Right, as we're just watching Vessi, who's gone second fastest, TK, Jay Higgs, then, who I was expecting to be quite a quick competitor tonight, is in fourth position, Marsky in fifth, and Vintage in sixth position at this moment in time. And it's so good something there for Kiki. Kiki going for his third pole position, and this qualifying session is just one qualifying session. This one is tonight. Then we don't have the full qualifying. Session then, like we used to have, but like we had in gold then. Oh, of course, we only have single. We only have single in silver as well, don't we? Of course, tomorrow night is also Formula 2. So yes, which I'm looking forward to be honest. I quite love the old. I quite like the old Formula 2. Is it full quality? No, it's. I think it's only short qualified, isn't it? As someone's got a very big engine noise behind me, as I'm trying to work out what in the world is going on with this again. I must admit, I am getting very fed up with all this technology mumbo jumbo. One weakness that I do have in the old technology repertoire is audio. I cannot stand it. I don't know. One day it works, another day it doesn't. That's the problem with when you. That's the problem, really, isn't it? Where you put all your faith into all this mumbo jumbo. Oh, it's Bacardi. Hello, Bacardi, aka Bruno. Welcome to the stream, my good sir. I hope you're having a wonderful time there, whatever you're doing at the moment. Like saying good luck there. Thank you very much, Lights. And I'm not sure if Serious Mushroom might be right on that one. Serious Mushroom might be right on that occasion because look, we got qualifying one up in the top there, aren't we? So hopefully hopefully we got normal qualifying as oh 1 minute. Right, hang on. I'm leaning forward a minute. Then that means that I have found something. We're just watching Itemizer. It's currently third at the moment. Hello, everyone who's just joining. Yes, usual stuff from the old Ginger Rage. He doesn't have a clue what's going on, which is nothing unusual. We don't want that. We want that. Does that do anything? Nope, it doesn't. Never mind. Cheers, man. Love Island with the misses on the side as usual. Oh, goodness gracious me. I must admit, I've never watched Love Island. I didn't even know it was on, to be honest. The only thing that I've really used to watch in terms of reality TV was the old Big Brother, which I used to love back in the day. Of course, I think as Dr. Troops has gone fastest there by a tenth of a second. Pretty impressive stuff there. Dynamo Dan currently 9th at the moment there, but I'm not sure if he meant that I've got no sound or if he's got no sound. Vintage has currently gone 14th at this moment in time there. Yellow flag is fluttering all around the circuit. Vintage there for new. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say what that last word says because to me that looks like something that I probably shouldn't say. But there we go. Slayer going 5th fastest as well then. Lovely jubbly indeed. Yeah, Gordon's saying there's some quick times. There are some very quick times on the field at the moment. They're absolutely incredible stuff indeed. I think I've broke something majorly now. Never mind. Let's hope for the best. That it's still all working. Okay. Hey. Oh dear. Right. Yes, as we're just watching Slayer just coming back into the pit lane there at the moment. So we'll see how this transpires. But I'm sure it's normally it's only one qualifying session here, but we'll see how this one plays out. Winnie coming out of the pits now. Winnie, of course, hoping to get some points on the board. Then I'm sure I'm sure he got his best career finish of his career. Wasn't it back in? I can't remember what season it was now, but I'm sure he got a 6 in this race 1 year or another. So we got New Potato with the default helmet there and the number 3 on his car. Shameful behaviour. Serious Mushroom, Irvine. Where's my teammate gone? Irvine, no chance, mate. Then we've also got Bojo there from Gordo as well. Hello. Good evening to you all then. As yes, hello Formula Moments. Yo, good evening to you, Formula Moments as well. So I'm reading the comments there. Yes, great stuff indeed. Got a lot of yellow flags out there at the moment, but yeah, do not worry about that, folks. The reason why there is yellow flags out there is that drivers are just getting out the way. So it's no one has gone off and into the hedge just yet, I don't think. So just watching New Potato going for another bite of cherry. TK has gone back to the top, back to the timesheet set with a 29-1 there. Great stuff indeed. We're on board with Winnie now as he comes over the grid hatchings to start his time now. Then. Good stuff indeed then, and sorry, I can't do this is a shameful game. Right. By George, I think he's done it. Gosh, that took a lot of brain power. But you know, I really dislike the old I really dislike the old Windows updates. Every time I get a Windows update, unfortunately, it changes my audio, and unfortunately, it comes out. Unfortunately, it comes out through a different source, which is so annoying. And of course, all these we look us. I've got to say we are quite flash in ALR, but goodness me, sometimes we are a bit too flash for our own good. Well, I certainly am anyway. I might need to make a note of that somewhere. Because I think I've only just realised. Because the only reason why I remembered that it was a Windows update tonight is because I literally just applied it before I came on there. Because of course, if you keep, because of course you have to have the Windows update applied because I'm IT and all that kind of jazz. Otherwise, you know, I'll be kept calling the pot black and all that kind of stuff. We got game sound now. Thank you very much, Nosy. Then I don't know. But we got no. No, it's all cool. Yep, lovely. Prepare to fail, fail to prepare, and all that kind of jazz. Then anyway, yes, I am with you now. Where was Hang on, where did I get to? I got to Bacardi. Bacardi then. Hope the race will go well and keen to see everyone's pace. Heard some people are getting booted missed races in 50% since the last update. I don't think anyone got booted last night, did they? I don't think they did. We did have a couple of pit and quits, as tempers did start to flare slightly, did they, in the opening race, which I was quite surprised by, to be honest. I thought that the drivers might be a bit more, you know, chilled out and stuff, because there's been a lot of positivity about this game, hasn't it? There's been a lot of positivity about this game since it's come out, hasn't it? Well, I certainly enjoyed it. I'm doing the old Formula 2 career at the moment then, mainly because I also want to learn what the point system are like as well. I think I did Formula 2 commentary for HDE a couple of seasons ago, and one thing that I forgot to look at was actually what the point system's like. Vintage has come 14 faster, so I thought I'd quickly take a look at that. No issues last night. So Nosy did say no issues last night. Of course, we did have a couple of flashpoints last night, didn't we? Which was after the race, which was quite interesting, wasn't it, to say Lisa? But I think it's all fine and dandy now, isn't it? Dynamo Dan, who hopefully he was on about my sound instead of his, but that's a cracking helmet there from the last season's runner-up in the Haas team. Both Haas are the 10th and 11th at the moment. Now, Dynamo Dan's is not qualifying. I don't want to be rude to Dynamo Dan, but Dynamo Dan, don't be rude about Dynamo Dan's qualifying, but he did struggle in the qualifying trim, didn't he? But then again, if you struggle in the qualifying trim, but are such a good racer like Dynamo Dan, what's the problem, isn't it? Exactly what I'm thinking then. But when we was talking, who was I interviewing on Sunday? I must admit I've slept since then. And I've had a whirlwind of a day today. So yes, I've forgotten who I was talking to. Someone was talking about, I think it was Gamer, wasn't it? He was saying about how he needed to improve his qualifying, didn't he? For Gamer there. But a great podium on Sunday for Gamer as well. So brilliant stuff indeed there. Albeit far had to throw out the old, had to get out the old, get out the old whip on Sunday and Monday, didn't he? After some of the naughty drivers across the gold grid, as it was a very interesting race to say at least, wasn't it? Alibi, who is now returning back to the ALR World Event. He didn't race last season. He was a bit slow on the DRS as well then as he comes up the hill. But yes, I think this Alibi didn't race at all last season. He's now in the Red Bull. Quit your job and come and race in bronze, Kaz said. Hopefully I can reserve in the future. Of course, Kaz did Serious Motions retire from the session now, as, oh goodness me, I think that he's lost his car keys, as Alibi's invalidated his time. Yeah, Kaz only missed a couple of races. Remember, he was not a reserve, he was not a full-time driver until Saudi Arabia last season. Was Kaz, and so it's a shame he's not on the grid then. I do like Kaz. Of course I like Kaz. I like everyone there. But of course Kaz had to miss some of the races last year as well because of those horrendous fires that was spreading around Canada. But at least it's. But I'm, to be honest, selfishly, to be honest, I'm glad that Kaz is working rather than having to flee his home, because that's appalling to hear. Really is indeed then, and I'm glad they cancelled Kano. Good stuff indeed there. Can I say it booted me as an excuse for BMP 17, Gordo was saying? No. We see all the Gordo, unfortunately. The admins can see everything from left to right, right to left, up and down, and all that kind of stuff. So yes, indeed, it's like that all-seeing eye kind of thing, isn't it? I don't know what I'm saying. Smith Almighty has gone 11 fastest. Smith Almighty, who was in silver last season. I didn't realise that Smith Almighty jumped from cobalt right up into silver. So very good stuff indeed there. I'm better late than never, I suppose. Itemizer in 8th position. I should have recognised that probably last season, really, shouldn't I? But there we go. Marsky in 12th position. Mona finds 2/10 of a second. He found 4/10 in the end now, going 9th fastest, and in front of his championship runner-up teammate in Dynamo down as well. So good innings there from the Haas driver. Got 1 minute to go in this qualifying session. I've missed a lot of this qualifying session because I've been fumbling around with this contraption in front of me. Alibi, who is not fumbling around with any contraption, I hope not, as he's going through turn 10 at this moment then. Let me quickly read your comments then, because I'm getting behind then. I'm not going out, I'm scared then. We've got I'm seeing Mushroom keep his same quality strategy as last season. It got him to 4th in the championship, to be fair, didn't it? So we cannot say too much, can we, about Serious Mushroom strategy? But so yeah. So if you think about last season's championship order, then Serious Mushroom surely should be the favourite to be one of the promotees this season. However, you cannot caveat that because it's a completely new game this season, and I really would like to see what the pecking order is. Alibi has gone 14th fast at the moment now in the Red Bull. Lovely stuff indeed. What about Vintage then? Vintage is going for another bite to the chair as well. Who is going to be sweating more than me? No one, because these are all fit as fiddle drivers, and I am certainly not fit as a fiddle. Oh, goodness me, Duncan Dave has been disqualified for driving the wrong way, even though he was just coming back on the circuit, so I don't really know. Oh gosh, I thought his AL was going to drive in the middle of the road, goodness me! And, oh dear, Duncan Daver, unfortunately, has been disqualified there. I think he just spun where Mazepin span back in 2021. Checker flag has fallen, and unfortunately Duncan Dave is going to start his season at the back of the field, and that is a major blow indeed there for Duncan Dave, because Duncan Dave was looking quite on it there. One Williams at the front, one Williams at the back. TK is fast at the moment. He's on pole position. Swanshanks is 19th at the moment now as he emerges from the garage. Scooby Stew, I think he must have been caught napping, because he is still in the pit lane, and is unfortunately down 18th position there. And Jay Hinges has gone fast there by 2/10 of a second there, and he might have pinched it off for TK in the dying emblements of qualifying here. Here comes Kiki with 2 pole positions to his name then. Can he get a third here in this one? I am so behind on the comments, so let me read them in a minute then, whilst I sweat the sweat off my brow. And Kiki goes second fastest, not pole position tonight. What about the LP behind? Dr. Troops is in the house, and here's pole position there by 700ths of a second. Brilliant stuff indeed there. What about Kiki? 10th for a second down in the second split time. He may abandon this time. He has abandoned this time. Here comes Dynamite. Dynamite Dan's found an incredible chunk of time in the second split time here. 3/10 of a second there for the championship runner-up. Dynamite Dan goes 8th fastest there. One incredible end to qualifying, but it's Dr. Troop pole position then on his return to ALR Bronze, and what an incredible start for himself and the Alpine team, who they were the constructors champions last season, and now they are on pole position. Magnificent stuff indeed then. Wow, that was good, wasn't it? I'm going to be honest. I am going to be honest. That was absolutely incredible. And I didn't even have Dr. Troops in my sweepstake for the championship this year, which is quite shocking, isn't it? Dr. Troop has come out of nowhere, in my humble opinion, which is probably not the case. You guys all probably knew it already, but Dr. Troop, an incredible pole position there. From my point of view, that's a turn up for the books. Second position is Jay Hins, and third position is Kiki. That is the top three at the moment, with TK in fourth position. New Potato, the former bronze champion, in fifth, with Slayer returning in sixth. Vessier, last time out, bronze winner in Abu Dhabi a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even a month ago now, in seventh, with Dynamo Dan in eighth. Itemized on ninth, and Marsky completes the top 10. Let's get racing. Well, before we get racing, let's quickly come on the comments then. As Nosy, Serious Merchant's already broke his comments, broke his promise. Absolutely shocking stuff indeed, isn't it? I'll shake my head in despair. Shame on me, Serious Merchant saying, "Oh, that sounds great. Good luck on Mushroom." Then, is this game much different than in 2022? Mushroom way different. Then, how about 10 minutes into the new game, but new monitor and got a PS5. Nosy, Marzipan, Mazepin. Third. Oh gosh, it's getting very dull out there, isn't it? Forgot the final. Forgot the DRS in the final straight. Lost about 1500. So Slayer is staying. Bravitt saying Smithy and P11. Hoping seeing him finishing in the top 10. It's much better, Kaz. It is much better. It's a really good game as well. Then of course, there's our little plug as well. Dynamo Dan, keep forgetting to turn on DRS and keep forgetting DRS and as assist is off. Laugh out loud. Then I've also got can I keep Higgs then? Top two very close. Gordo said. I'm glad that Gordo's paying attention because I'm certainly not, am I? All right, let's go for the grid, shall we then? No soft tyre in sight then. If it's anything like last night, we're in for a doozy. Luckily, it was Nosy commentating last night and not me, because I wouldn't have got past the first. I wouldn't have got past the first half of the race myself. But because Nosy is a much more fitter man than me, so I haven't got much air capacity either. Right, let's go through the grid, shall we, from front to back. But before we do so, let's go through the tyre selection, shall we? Let's hope for a good, calm, and clean race. And maybe a safety car or free. As we just watch going through the order. Dr. Troops pole position. What an incredible return there for Dr. Troops. His first pole position of his career in ALR Bronze. Fantastic. Higgs in second position then on medium tires. Kiki, two-time pole sitter with TK, a 10-time pole sitter. Third and fourth position. Sharing the second row then. The qualifier, the qualifying specialist. New Potato in fifth position. The first ALR Bronze champion. Can he get... he was one of the favourites to get promoted last season. He came up a bit short because of technical gremlins, unfortunately, with his car. Sixth position was Slayer. Forgot about his DRS. Slayer did, and he probably lost the position. Vessier, who won in Abu Dhabi, can he get himself back into the winner's circle? Eighth position is Dynamo Dan on the medium compound tires. Last season's runner-up in the Haas. Itemizer, a Grand Prix winner in Belgium. Can he get a second Grand Prix win in car 91? I love it. Marsky in 10th position on the hard tire squad in the second Haas car. Both Haas's looking strong in the top 10. Great. 11th position is Smithy Almighty, who's smack bang in the middle of the field on the medium tires. 12th position is Sick as Muck there. Sick as Muck is a very good racer. Watch him come through the field. Winnie in 13th position. Can he get some points on the board for the Mercedes team? Alibi in 14th. We only see him do one or two runs. Vintage with Vintage in 15th position there with the last part of his name I'm not going to say. 16th position is Swanshanks on the medium tires. Styles in 17th position. Serious Mushroom with the Verstappen-esque helmet in 18th there. Scooby Stew in 19th position. Difficult season with Scooby Stew, but he is back in action. That's what I like to see. And 20th on the grid, Duncan Dave would have been 10th, but had issues there in qualifying. 20 cars, 29 laps, 22 rounds in bronze then. Who is going to be the sixth ever bronze champion then? It is lights out here in Bahrain, and it is go! And Dr. Troops gets a good start. Jay Higgs is alongside him. He's going for the lead into turn one there. He has a sniff. No dice at the moment. They say, oh, there's contact. Jay Higgs is around. And that's a bit of a messy start here in Bronze with Smithy up two. But that's more problems at the back there. What's happened? It's Smithy Almighty around. And it's the new potatoes up the circle as well. A difficult start indeed. Scooby Stew is having 13 positions. He's up 6 positions there. He's having a sniff on the inside of the Red Bull Investor, who's down 5 positions as well. Oh my goodness me. It's a bit chaos. It's a bit chaotic at the opening stage here. Well, as I say chaos, and Dr. Troops doesn't even know what's happened, and he has flown completely clear of the nest, and he is leading the way by almost a second already, with Slayer up 4 positions already. Kiki is in 3rd position. Yellow flag at the back of the field. Both McLarens who had nightmare seasons last season are now both 19th and 20th on the grid, and that is not a good start at all. Then look at that. Then Dr. Troops is absolutely in a class of one here. Slayer 2nd, 3rd is Kiki. TK in 4th position. Higgs, who had contact in turn 1. I didn't see who scooped him up and swung him around there, but he's down in 5th position. Itemizar in 6th with Dynamo Dan. 7th, 8th position is Sick as Muck with Witty in 9th. Alibi in 10th position. Marsky is 11th. Scooby Stew getting a bit squirrely in 13th position. 14th is Serious Mushroom with Vintage in 15th. 16th is Duncan Dave. New Potato down 12th position. Swanshanks down 2 with both McLarens at the back of the field. Lap 1 completed. Look at the gap. 2.5 seconds already. And here comes Kiki. We've got we got a queue behind Slayer. He's on the outside. Kiki has been forced wide. And TK is having a look up the inside. Not quite at the moment then. So you're very much going. Lionel Stone there is a power up the hill there. There's a beautiful sunset here in Bahrain. He's going for it. TK is through. Contact. Is there damage to the cars? I don't think so. Oh my goodness gracious me. Golly gosh there. And that's an Aston Martin in the background as well. I think that was Sick as Muck. What's it? I might have been Sick as Muck there. I'm getting past, and Higgs there, I think, came back onto the racing line there and almost, and I think that caught out Dynamo Dan, but I don't think there's damage there. Higgs is down in 6th position there. Maybe I called that wrong there, but it just felt like Higgs there just returned to the racing line a bit too late there. Itemizar is in 7th position around there. It's a very much a chaotic start in the opening stage of the bronze championship here tonight. Then car 91 is Itemizar in the Ferrari. Ferrari got one of the strongest teams in the field with 2 race winners in their possession, and so Ferrari are going to be very happy that they were very good last season as well with Dynamo Dan. However, Dynamo Dan is now the enemy for the Scuderia. Jake the Slayer is not 1 minute behind Dr. Troops. Dr. Troops is enjoying himself out in front. DRS will be available at the end of this lap then. So now this is where it's going to get very fruity indeed. Kiki is trying to come back at TK as well. TK and Kiki, very quick customers last season. However, the issues that they had there was due to qualifying. He's having a look though. TK is up the inside, passes Slayer. Slayer gets a great catapult out of turn 1, and oh my goodness me! And I felt oh gosh, they're in TK. Oh my goodness me, up the inside track position, and Slayer there has been boxed in. Oh goodness me, and TK and Slayer have come together, and TK, what a disappointing start for the Williams driver, and unfortunately it was getting a bit too cozy up there in turn 4. He's come out right in front there. Yellow flags as well. Swanshanks has dropped down to the back of the field as well. Action and drama all the way around the field. Duncan Dave in the 2nd. Williams is also in a nightmare as well, down in 17th position. I say that, but he's actually up 3. Hungry Styles and Smithy Almighty. Oh gosh, Darren Styles there going on the outside here. The 2 McLarens are getting very close here, and my word there, I think that Zach Brown is not going to be too impressed at all with his 2 Chargers there, getting close there at turn 10 and 9. Watching Vintage, who I think has just lost out to New Potato here. He has. and the Ferrari driver making his way back through the field. He is now up into a 13th spot, but I think Vintage is going to have to look over his shoulder because TK is trying to recover after he had a spin when him and Slayer unfortunately collected each other at the top of the hill in turn 4. Unfortunately, Dr. Troops is now 3.2 seconds in front of Dynamo Dan, who is now up into second position. Kiki in third, but Dynamo Dan and Dr. Troops, I forgot to mention, are both on medium tires. Kiki is on the hards. Jay Hinsen is now in fourth position. And what is going on here then is the Williams said, oh gosh, there, I thought I was going to be all contact. TK getting out of it there, and he is now going to be vulnerable from Vintage. He is going to be vulnerable from Vintage there as they come up into turn number 4 now. And yes, I think the Vintage thought better of it then, and just dropped back then. Oh, wow. Incredible stuff here. And Dynamo Dan now up into second position, but he's got a bit of a conga line behind him now. And that is in the form of Kiki, Hings, Itemizer, Slayer, Vessier, and Alibi just a second out then. So he's not got DRS just yet, and DRS is available there. There's Dr. Troops. You just see a flash of him in the Alpine as he is just absolutely dancing away at the moment. A bit of a dinner on the dance. Oh, Styles off the circuit. Alibi is lost the position as well. He's down to 9th as Marsky's made his way up to 8th. Styles down into 20th position. The two McLarens were getting very cozy earlier on as well, weren't they? Hopefully they haven't come to blows then. Otherwise, that is one of the cardinal scenes in Grand Prix racing where you go, where you unfortunately make contact with your teammate. And there he's got to one of the Haas's in the background as well of Alibi all over the back of Marsky. Then TK has got past Sick as Muck. There he goes, and TK flying in the Williams car and as coming back through the field. And of course, this is a 22 round season. Alibi is through. Dynamo Dan is lost out. Cirrus Mushroom through past the Scooby Stew as well. Goodness me, we had 3 overtakes there in the twinkling of an eye. Goodness me, I didn't know which way to look there. Fantastic. Oh my word, there is I had to take a breath and kind of wipe away the sweat from my brow. Oh goodness me! And who is that? That's Slayer and Vessier. And I think Vessier has overtaken Slayer. He's through. Sick as Muck and TK have swapped positions again. Then Vessier is now in 6th position in the Red Bull. And a very I thought he was into the back of the Ferrari then. And a very promising start here from Vessier and for Itemizer as well. There's been chaos around, but for those two drivers, they have done a very good job and just avoiding it. And oh no, Scooby Stew, and he's spinning the rear tires. He's had a spin at the exit of turn 8, I think that is. Unfortunately, Swan Shanks in 19th and Styles in 20th position at the moment. No one has come into the pitch just yet. And we had another flash of Dr. Troops. He is in this race. And he is leading this race quite comfortably as well then. Vessier in 6th position at the moment, and TK is now through. Passes Sick as Muck then. He's got a 2.5 second gap between himself and the first ALR Bronze champion, which is New Potato then. So I think that TK would like to probably settle down now and just see if he can rein him in then. But he has to get out of DRS. He's going to be concerned about Vintage and Sick as Muck right behind him then. Itemizer and Higgs going side by side down the pit straight. We've also got Dynamo Dan down the pit straight as well. He is back up into 2nd position now. This is good for Dr. Troops then, who is just waltzing away at the moment. Look at the sparks coming off of the titanium skid blocks of these Formula 1 cars. Marsky up into 8th position with Alibi in 9th position now then. So can he get back through? Higgs has lost 2 positions here. He's been boxed in again there. And now he's going to go on the outside. Remember what happened earlier on? That it almost carbon copy of what happened between Slayer and it's Higgs there is unfortunately losing time hand over fist. Now he's dropped down several positions here, and I'm wondering then unfortunately that's just a downward spiral. It's like Ferrari's up, Itemizer's in the wall, and oh dear, he just got on the power, and I think that's what other drivers have done as well. TK is down into 14th again there. Itemizer, and after a very strong start, he is down in 12th position, make that 13th position there. And that's unfortunate as well. He's also gone wide, and TK has gone through as well. It's a nightmare lap for Itemizer, and unfortunately that was exactly a lap after I said he was doing a good job there. I apologise profusely. Dynamo Dan, who is currently in superb position there. He's having an almighty scrap with himself and TK, but 2.5 seconds the gap is now. TK back past Vintage and back up in the 12th position there, but they're fighting. Their fighting is really helping New Potato just stretch his lead. The gap is doubled since the last lap, up to 4 seconds now between those gaggle of drivers. Here coming as Itemizers down into 15th now. Winnie's up in the 14th. Up the inside goes Dynamo Dan, not quite. Slayer up into the 4th position there. Vestier dropping down into 5th. New Potato getting past Serious Mushroom and up into 9th position. Mushroom down into 10th for the moment there. Itemizer has got a penalty there for speeding into the pit, so he must have damaged that Itemizer, and he was already on the hard tyres. And Winnie has Winnie now go almost spinning off at Smithy Almighty through and up into 15th position there. Passes at Winnie and look in front of us here as well. TK has kept his position. Now he needs to knuckle down here, and he has to knuckle down and get out of that DRS detection zone. Then Gordo, that Alpine is rapid. Dr. Troops is flying there. Kiki is not. He is dropping down like a stone here. I think he's half spun it. The traction zones are really hurting these drivers tonight, haven't they, at the moment? As we've seen a couple of drivers half spin it. Itemizer is the only driver to come into the pits at this moment in time then. On board with Vestier in 5th position now. But he is on the hard tyres. Slayer, Kiki and Vestier are all on the hard tyres at the moment. They're not going to be coming in for quite a number of laps. The medium tyres will be coming in probably about 6-7 laps time. 6 or 7 laps time then. So we keep an eye out for the strategy calls when they come out to play. Then. And look, Vestier all over the back of Kiki. I wonder if Kiki's lost a bit of tyre temperature, or maybe the tyres have been cooked then. So Higgs has dropped down into 6th position. He's a second back now. He's out of DRS here. DRS. And Vestier up into 5th position. He is, and Kiki down into 5th, I should say. Goodness gracious me, he's all over him like a bad suit here, going up the no, he isn't. He's gone back into the slipstream here. Has Kiki, and fought to fight another day. Serious Mushroom and New Potato having a great battle here for 9th and 10th position there. Serious Mushroom, New Potato is up to 9th, and Serious Mushroom is 10th there. And now then it's all settled down at the back there as well. I think it's been settled down since the start for Dr. Troops, who's been driving absolutely supreme at the moment. He is flying out there. To turn number 10 then, before accelerating back on the power for the Red Bull. And he will be looking over his shoulder as well as over his cockpit, because of course he is very much the meat in this sandwich that he is in at the moment between himself and Slayer and Kiki, all on similar strategies at the moment. Dynamo Dan would not like to be a part of this battle much anymore. I think he'd be happy he's in second, but I don't think he wants to be a part of this battle for too much longer. He doesn't want to get involved in this at all at this moment in time. Gordo, good to see both Red Bulls in the point set. Indeed, one is 4th, that is Vestier. The other one of Alibi up into 8th position as well. Alibi got from 14th to 8th there in a twinkle of an eye in this start of this Grand Prix. The gap is stabilised and is actually under 3 seconds for the first time in a couple of laps here. So as Dr. Troop says, as he pushed too hard too soon on those tyres, he has been incredible since the lights have gone out here. Well, he's been incredible since the pit light went green at the start of this session tonight. But Dr. Troop says, as he cooked his tyres in the opening stage of this Grand Prix. However, he will be coming out to the pit stop window anytime soon. So you don't want to leave any more meat on those tyres than you already have, Ben. So that is just a waste. And so yes, I don't think he's going to be too overly concerned if he has cooked those tyres there, because the hard tyres should do forever and a day around here. Well, I say anyway, it's of course the asphalt was imported from a British quarry, and I can't remember what quarry it is then, but that's what Ted Kravitz told us when we was racing here earlier on in the season. Smithy Almighty is really putting the squeeze on Duncan Dave. Smithy Almighty on the medium compound tyres, down in 16th position moment there. Smithy Almighty is there. He would probably like to be a bit higher up than what has happened. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And Advantage has had Napoleon run out of turn 10, and Duncan Dave is up into 13th position there. And Vintage had quite a I said Napoleon run. Maybe I need to find a word a bit more extreme or a bit more steep there, because Vintage lost 2 positions in that flurry of action. Watching a Vintage now in 50th position. No retirement so far. Last night we only had I think 1 retirement there, which was a cause, which was a huge smash, wasn't it? But I can't remember who it was now. No, it wasn't. It was on Monday, wasn't it? I'm getting myself completely confused. Sunday, Sean. Goodness me. Slayer all over the back of Dynamo Dan. We did have a lot of pit and quits last night, didn't we? I don't think we had. Did we have any smashes and crashes? I know we did in gold then. Goodness gracious me, of course, there was one quite. And we... Oh, contact there. Duncan David Sickersbuck there of rubbed wheels then. Whilst the Vessier, yellow flag, as we got one of the McLarens off Duncan Davis off there, when we just pulled away from him, and he's down in 16th position there. We've got another battle here as well. I don't know where to look. Oh, gosh, sir. And they've somehow made it through. Winnie up into 12th. Magnificent. Vintage and Smithfield Mighty's dropped down the order, and Vintage has popped himself through as well. Vintage down into 15th here. Goodness gracious me. Now, as New Potatoes dropped, New Potatoes dropped Serious Mushroom. He is now all over the back of Alibi, who's been a bit on its lonesome, hasn't he, in the last couple of laps or so. He's having a look there, going down into turn 11. Has the job been done? It has been done. Alibi, though, will have the grip on the outside, then the more traditional racing line then. Inside is not very grippy, then, of course, the angle's very acute as well. And look at this, and I think the New Potato might be sensible here. Of course, he is the first ever bronze champion in ALR history. Then he would probably like to overtake him as soon as possible. However, going down into turn 1 might be the best option then. Dr. Troops, I was saying the gap was under 3 seconds for the first time in a couple of laps, so now it's been extended to 3.5 seconds there. New Potato is harvesting quite early on that straight there. That is not looking good then, is it? Go on, Vestier is what Gordo is shouting in the comments at the moment. Then it's New Potato is up into 3rd position. No, he isn't. He's up into 8th position. Passes Alibi. Alibi then getting a lot of power in those rear tyres and up into Dan's knife, I should say. But I was more concerned that he might get Serious Mushroom on his case as well then, because I think he's lost out then. Sick as muck then. I think that's not the first penalty of the night. I think it is. Into the pits comes Duncan Dave after only 10 laps on the medium tyres. Vintage and Vintage, Sick as muck, and Smithfield Mighty are having very much a battle royale then. I thought that Vintage spun then as I just went off there, but he's okay at the moment then. On board Serious Russian then, up into 10th position in the Alfa Romeo, of course. Hopefully he's enjoying his new home then. Of course, this is the last season, or the last game, I should say. We're going to have Alfa Romeo on the game, unless, of course, they go to... unless, of course, Alpha Tauri becomes Alfa Romeo then, which would be very confusing indeed, wouldn't it? Of course, they will have a new name next year, won't they? But we're not sure what it is yet. Serious Mushroom in the Alfa Romeo. Of course, they will be returned to the Sauber name for next season, won't they? As they are technically the Alfa Romeo Sauber, but they will become the Sauber team for next season and 2025 before becoming the Audi team in 26, and which is a very exciting news indeed, isn't it? Looking forward to that. Of course, look forward to those new engine regulations as well, albeit there has been a bit some worrying news from the Red Bull camp, hasn't it, about potentially having a lot of clipping down the straights, where you're going to have to ease off the power in harvest, which is not what you want to see, is it? I think they do it a lot in Formula E, don't they? But I think that in Formula 1 trims, that is not what you want to hear at all. But hopefully it's just being cautious, and then rather than anything that's going majorly wrong with the 26 engines. We've just seen Vintage make his way past Sick as muck then, and these guys here are just having an all-out war out there at the moment, and they no one's come into the... Well, we've had Duncan David Knight Tomato in the pits, and the hot medium tyre is not going to get to the end from there, I think, anyway. So, no, but those drivers said have come in far too early, I think. Scooby Stew has got a penalty at the moment. Down in 70th position, Scooby Stew is in the Alpine car. Just watching Smithfield Mighty, who's currently in 15th at the moment. They're pressurising Sick as muck, as these guys have had an all-out scrap at the moment, haven't they, in the midfield. Really enjoyed that battle. It's been very good indeed, hasn't it? Because Dr. Troops has had no kind of aggravation at the moment, has he? He's just been flying out there, enjoying himself there, and and enjoying himself and just having a delightful Tuesday afternoon drive. But Kiki, I don't think it's been as easy for Kiki, who's been having an almighty scrap then as well. Gordo, I quite like the thought of him becoming Sauber again. Then maybe I'm just strange. No, you're not, Gordo. You're a traditionalist like me, and I will also looking forward to the Sauber name returning back to the field as well. As a Dynamo down into full position now. One of the medium tires of screaming that they need to come into the pits. And New Potato has been very much flying along in the last couple of, goodness me, that Red Bull there steaming in there of Alibi, and a very much unsettled Marski. Winnie's got a 5-second penalty for pit lane speed limit, for going over the speed limiter, unfortunately. And Alibi now on the outside. Marski has the inside. Remember though, this is quite a favourite overtaking opportunity. And look at this, he's going through on the outside. He's done it. Marski now he's going to go back on the inside here. And great racing there, fantastic racing. I love it. And look at this, Marski on the inside. Then where is he? There he is as well. And this great side-by-side action there. And they're going into 9 and 10 side-by-side there. I'm going to trip over me poof. He is on the, oh, that's incredible stuff there for Marski to hold position. Serious Mushroom is also in the facility as well. Great racing there. And that is the best racing etiquette of tonight. Fantastic driving from Marski and Alibi. I love that. Great stuff indeed then. The hard tires are becoming the favourite tire, Gordo is saying, and watching on board. Alibi on the outside. He's off the circuit there. And that might be frowned upon by the stewards. He is off the track again then. Goodness me, you don't rent that part of the circuit, Alibi. He is back home now though. And Marski, who's going to be inching forward. I'm surprised he didn't get asked to give that position back, you know. He has overshot Alibi but he somehow got the perch then into the pits, comes in, and now Alibi's lost 2 positions because Serious Mushroom is through, and Serious Mushroom might be able to take another position. You think, I'm not sure, did he win the overtake of the season last season? I think he did, and now he's up to 7th position there. Stahl's got a penalty, and where's Alibi? This is where it started last lap there, so let's go for round 2, I recommend. Bring it on, out of turn 2 and up into turn 3, and the hill climb into turn 4. Great racing indeed then, and now we're watching Marski up the inside again. Then Alibi gives him a Haas whip there. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Back up there. That looked a bit simpler there for Marski. Great drive, but Alibi looks like he's doing a lot of harvesting then. Swanshank's in the pits there. I think we had a couple of pit stoppers there whilst all that action played out. Great driving. I love that. Fantastic stuff indeed. Going back to Gordo's comment about the Sauber. Definitely not Gordo, you're a traditionalist. And yes, I do. I'm looking forward to seeing Sauber back on the old grid. I do like Sauber, and I'll be interested in what colours have. I hope they don't return to the white. Well, I didn't mind the dark blue and gold, but I didn't really like the blue in, like, you know, because it did look a bit plain in 2016 and 15, in my opinion. I didn't like the grey either, to be honest, for Sauber either, really. I've never liked a grey F1 car. I don't know what it is. Haas had a grey F1 car in 2017, didn't they? I just don't like them. Right, maybe because they're grey. And I don't really like grey football kits either, so that's probably why then. Right, we've got Marski and Alibi still attached to each other. So the top, I was going to say the top runners are not coming to pits, but however, Dynamo Dan has now given up onto the medium tires. Alibi's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. We've had a lot of those speeding in the pit lane infringements here tonight there, which they're going to be kicking themselves on that then. Unfortunately, that's kind of like something that you should really know where the pit line is then. Out of the pit now behind Jay Higgs, who came in the pits a lap ago. So how is the fire up like they compared to last season? Oh gosh! And Vintage there almost went to the back of Dynamo Danny. Had to take a face-off action then in car 5. And of course that is quite cool to see the red 5 actually on the Alpha tyre. I love that from Vintage there. He is currently in 11th position at the moment there, Vintage is that. So the highest runner who has come to the pits at the moment is Jay Higgs then. So when is Dr. Truth going to come to the pits? He doesn't need to at the moment, does he? He is quite happy out in front of them on there. So he's got enough time then to cover the undercut there. He's on lap 15. The hard tires were easy to get to the end from here. I think he's probably going to be looking at a space on the circuit there to come into the pit lane, change those tires there, and have an easy run to the finish end. But of course, anything can happen still. We still have 20 cars on circuit. There is still, that means that more cars on the circuit, still opportunity for chaos. Into the pits now. Talking of chaos, so we've got one of the McLarens of Styles who has had issues there. Vessier, who is now leads the race then with Slayer in second position, and Lair's new potato in third. Then Dr. Troops has come out of the pits now. Who is that in the background there? That was Kiki, who is gone. Who is she's coming for the undercut here because he was on the mediums already. So getting the fire up on the medium tires will fire up a lot quicker. Same with Serious Mushroom as well. He's also had enough of the hard tires and going for the medium. I think the medium is the preferred race tire. They should get to the end there. TK, of course, was at the front of the field for a couple of laps at the beginning of this one, but unfortunately it all came a bit unstuck. Vintage also in the pits as well. A lot of the midfield runners are getting rid of the hard tires at the first moment's notice then, which is very interesting then, but I do think the medium tires is now the preferred race tire around here. Oh, and here it is, and Kiki on the outside then, and it's getting past Dynamo Dan. Dynamo Dan on the hard tires. It's going to take a couple of laps to warm up there. Itemizer is past Mushroom as well, but Mushroom needs to get past here because look at the background. That's Alibi. That's, contact there between himself, and then Serious Mushroom's had to go off the circuit there, and Serious Mushroom very wise there, backed out of that because that was going to be a crash there for Mushroom in the the Sauber in the Alfa Romeo there, but Serious Mushroom's lost lost the position there, and if he got past Itemizer, he would be flying down that straight there. Alibi really pushing Itemizer. I goodness me, he went off the circuit. Itemizer then, and now Serious Mushroom is also through as well, and up into 11th position then. And then in the background there's one of the Mercedes as well. So out of the runners, who's got Vessier has stayed out. I'm wondering if Vessier might go to the soft tires. Yeah, and there's that Mercedes of Jake Slayer very much in the thick of things. And out of the pits now, New Potato has also stayed out. Into the pits comes Marsky in the Haas car. Where is he going to come out then? Dr. Troops back up in the third position. Jay Higgs is flying out there. There he is in the Alfa Romeo car, flying down the pit straight as well. Where is Slayer? There is Slayer. He comes out the pits. He's gone over the white line. He should be okay. I think as long as you don't go over the white line extremely badly on this game, you should be fine then. Sick as Mug has not pitted yet. Serious Rush of Ass, and he's also got past Alibi as well. Whilst all that's been going on, Alibi down into 10th position. TK is in 11th with Itemizer in 12th position. Unfortunately, losing time. Itemizer, he's out of sync here because he damaged his car earlier on in the race, and unfortunately out of the traction zone of turn 8. Vessier leads them by 8.5 seconds there from a New Potato in second position. Both drivers have yet to stop. Sick as Muck has yet to stop either. So has Hungry Styles, who has yet to stop. I think he stopped earlier on in the race then, but is very much is not on the same strategy as the rest of the drivers then. Dr. Troops has stopped then. He's in third position, and so is Higgs in fourth. Slayer on the medium tires with Kiki also on the medium as well, 5th and 6th, and is absolutely flying out there at the moment. Good job indeed. Dynamo Dan in 7th position. He stopped as well, but he's on the harder tires, so this is going to be the pain, but he'll make it. But the gain will be later on for Dynamo Dan, I believe. And into the pits then is TK and Alibi have swapped positions there at the end of the back straight there. Into the pits comes Vessier now on the medium tires then, as he is in and out, shake a lot about that. Dr. Troops set the fast on the race, and he has now moved himself back into second position, keeping an eye to see where Vessier has come out then compared to the rest of the field then, as through goes Higgs, through goes Slayer, Kiki and Dynamo Dan. Then he is going to be out there. He is, and he has younger tires on the medium tires. He's in the heart of this battle. Actually, he's right in that battle there. Kiki off the circuit. Did he just was he watching? I'm not sure, but now then here comes Vessier on the tires that have just come out of. I don't think they're not cooked these days, these tires. They used to be with the tire blankets, but he's on the outside. Vessier, so he's getting past Kiki, and Vessier is becoming a major player in this Grand Prix. He passes Kiki, and he's also now in front of Dynamo Dan as well. That's a crucial part of this race then. And Vestier 5th position now then, and he potentially, Vestier had won the last race last season then, and is very much on an uphill, building on an uphill slope now. It's the Vestier is in 5th position. In front of him is Slayer, and then Higgs in front of him, and the hard tires with Dr. Troops, who is 6 seconds in front at the moment there. So Dr. Troops there is very looking very solid at this moment in time. So New Potato is the only driver yet to stop at the moment there. So New Potato then, how long is he going to go for soft send, do you think then? I think that, I'm wondering, as Gordo said, very good move there. I've also seen Gordo's comment about the Sauber as well, and I'll read that out in just a jiffy. However, mine and Gordo's conversation about the Sauber has, as Styles has had an issue coming out of the pits there. He is still in the race then, but Styles is crawling. Issues there for Styles, and soft tyres then for New Potato. 10 laps on the soft tyres. Good gosh there. That, I think that might be a bit too, I reckon that might be a bit too much of a stretch. So TK is going to see that Ferrari there just in front of him. There he is then, and I think TK then, I'm not sure if he would rather be in front or behind him. Obviously TK would rather be in front of him, but I think that, oh, contact there between TK and New Potato then, but TK has made it through. Serious Russian there, just keeping a watching brief then. Sick as Muck, who's also in the pits as well, down in 17th position. A lot of New Potato, Six Muck going on to the same strategy as each other. Now let's see how that one plays out. I think that might be a bit too much of a stretch though for the soft tyres, but I have been wrong before. I'm almost certainly wrong on this occasion as well. Yellow flag as it starts going on, getting off the racing line. Good stuff indeed there for Stars. As even though you do ghost when you get lapped, then it is not a nice feeling at all to be lapped. Then not by any stretch of imagination, but but also when Kiki's passed Vessian, and unbeknownst to me, but it's awful getting lapped then. But not only that, look at this, it's New Potato now produced 7th position, TK down to 8th then. But it's also distracted as well for the drives behind you, so it's really good there to get off the racing line then. So hats off then to Styles, who has not had a good start to his season 6 campaign then in that McLaren Mercedes. As just now on board with Slayer then, and look at this, Slayer then just DRS and through passes Higgs well before the break-in point now. Kiki going very wide, he's off the circuit, he followed that McLaren and Kiki has spun the car, and goodness me, Kiki's good. I'm wondering if he was just caught car watching there down into turn 1, and because of that then he just went straight up potentially. He down in 6th position then, and unfortunately for Kiki, of course his former team key before he went to the AlphaTauri this season, unfortunately down into 6th position now, and that is going to help Vessier at no end now, because Dynamite Dan is almost out of DRS race now. Vessier can get after those podium spots then, and that is you can see there Stars just going off the circuit. TK then currently at the moment in 8th position there. I must say there's been a couple of someone was off the circuit there, weren't they? I must say that we've had a couple of incidents there, but apart from that, it has been a very instant free race so far, isn't it? With lap 20 out of 29, and Gordo said that Kiki did follow McLaren. He looked like it, didn't it? To be fair, that's just such a shade of Kiki. But to be fair to him, he did drive the McLaren last season. Kiki did that. So of course, for the final couple of races, that we got McLaren going slow down this back straight. It is just hungry styles, and very easy to do, especially when someone jumps to start. I know that. Yeah, goodness me. When you're we're so much on the edge there, primed and ready to go at the start, and then someone jumps to start and you go with them there, because any twitch will then send you going on surprise there. It doesn't happen more often than not when in F1 there, where you get a lot of jump starts. Back in 95 when they first started to register these jump starts, and we had so many jump starts. There was jump starts literally every race to begin with, and we had like 4 or 5 to begin with as well. Goodness me, sick as muck, and Item Ice are having an almighty scrap on the soft tyres here. Good heavens. Sick as muck through. Now Item Ice are down into 18th position there. There he goes in the Aston Martin. and through. But I think was only Vitamizar might be thinking about he will have the DRS now. There's Scooby Stew in the background then. Scooby Stew might be able to take advantage. Itemizar does have the DRS as well. The Sickers Muck there trying not to give him the slipstream there. Great battling, yeah. This is not for points there. This is about pride down in 17th and 18th position there. But this is what we are expecting from Bronze this season, is that fighting up all the way up and down the field then, and never giving up until the end of the race. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Hats off to two drivers that were probably hoping and expecting points today, and unfortunately that has not transpired due to one reason or another then. But this is only the first race of the season. We do go on to Saudi Arabia next week, of course. So as the races will come thick and fast, there is no long season breaks this season. We have got 22 races in 23 weeks in ALR. It is going to be fast and furious, just like this race has been there. Vessier up into third position, passes the Alfa Romeo, and through he goes. Now then, Waters was Hinges back then. He was behind the white line, wasn't he? So he's going to have a look then. There's Slayer 2 seconds in front. Alibi is broken into the top 10, but he does have penalties, so that could cost him. Now Morsky down in the 11th position on there, just outside the point set. Winnie in 12th position on there. Of course, driver of the day will be coming up in a couple of laps time then. So yes, indeed, then if you want to decide then who your driver of the day is, then of course get those votes in there. But of course, we can only pick 4. Which can be much more difficult sometimes. Kind of Morsky and Alibi very close together then. So the moment then, this race is ticking along quite nicely then at this moment in time. Well, not anymore, because Sick as Muck and Itemizar again. Look at that, Sick as Muck there pushed his way through. Back up into 17th position here, and he's going for it. He's having a look there. Oh yes. Wow, that's incredible. Oh gosh, they're getting stuck though. That's an AlphaTauri off. Is Kiki off the circuit? Oh, and there's contact with the two, with the Aston Martin as well. But Kiki, oh, has he damaged the car? Don't think he's thrown away a major point scoring position here. Who is it? Is Smithy Almighty up into 12th position as well? It was taking along nicely, but it's got a bit all crazy, hasn't it? An Alibi on the outside. Oh goodness me, that's audacious. That's spectacular. Oh no! And Kiki almost spun the car, and his tires are probably still screaming hot from the spin out of turn 11. Oh goodness me, what was that there? Morsky is now through and up into 9th position now. I thought that I just looked up there whilst I was reading the comments there. Goodness me. And now can Kiki get himself? Oh gosh, there's Alibi, and now Alibi is not having any. But then Super White here, we're having an almighty scrap here. TK and Serious Mushroom are also fighting as well. Good gracious, guys, give me chance to breathe. On the outside goes TK up into 7th position. Down into 8th, we've got a Ferrari off in the background as well. Itemizar, I'm not surprised, because Seekers Merc and Itemizar is getting very cozy earlier on in this race. Then a few laps ago anyway, as now TK up into 7th position and Serious Mushroom down into 8th. Oh my word, then Kiki is now Itemizar is unfortunately retired from the race. And I think that's a lot of frustration, to be honest, in the Ferrari paddock there. Itemizar was probably expecting big things as well. Fair play to Styles for keeping going then. Very good, yeah, very good stuff indeed there for Styles, and he's also jumped out of the way as well. Good stuff. Just watching Kiki, and a yellow flag is for the Itemizar. So only one retirement so far. It's been a very crisping, I was going to say, not many incidents going on here tonight, but I'm very impressed, to be honest. Very impressed indeed, because of, mainly, we got a pass for position there. I need to get on my toes, I think. Goodness me. Now Vessier is up into 5th position. Has he got the pace to get after Dr. Troops? But, well, before he even thinks about Dr. Troops, he's got to get rid of Slayer here now, because Slayer's on the outside. He's having a look there into turn 4, both on the medium tires. Look at the marbles head on the inside shoulder of Slayer's tire there. That is going to very much unsettle the car, isn't it, for the Mercedes-Benz car? And but look at that, Vessier is now absolutely rocketing away from his Mercedes. And Serious Mushroom then having a look at TK. And New Potato is in front of us here, up into 6th position there. Now I think the question is that I'm sure that the soft tires don't last too much longer after 6-7 laps here. So maybe these drivers are going to be able to get past that Ferrari. And it's been a difficult day for the Ferrari team today, hasn't it? Now, Vessier has got 5.5 seconds from Dr. Troop. Dr. Troop has been in a world of his own, hasn't he? It's been an absolute clinic in Grand Prix racing for Dr. Troop. And Alpine, then I was saying it was going to be a bit of a pressure cooker for the Alpine team this season. But Dr. Troop has absolutely... it's just jumped in that car and is absolutely in inspired form, Dr. Troop says that. And so is Serious Mushroom having a great scrap here with TK. TK in the Williams there, and losing a lot of aero there and almost spun the car. Good catch there from TK. So that's quite up. Then, of course, it is the Ashes going on. Unfortunately, I don't know much about the Ashes because I have no idea about the old cricket. I know a lot about rounders, though. I do know a lot about being around as well, to be fair. TK, who is now coming back out and looks Serious Mushroom is harvesting, and TK is just going to blast past him down into turn 1. Give him a squeeze there, TK. He's going to stop in time. He just about does there. Serious Mushroom then. Is he going to go for it again? Look at the marbles again then. Goodness gracious me. There's so many marbles off the racing line then. I wonder if that's affecting the drivers having to go for overtaking. Well, if it is, it certainly doesn't look like it because they're all having to go out here. Great stuff indeed then. Alibi is fighting with Kiki as well. Of course, two drivers who is on the second row of the grid to begin this race there. Oh my gosh, I thought that was going to be contact between Kiki, and he's on the inside, on the outside. Wow, magnificent, and he is going up the inside into turn 8 there. Wow, look at that. Great driving indeed there. And Alibi is having none of it. He is back. Oh, I'm going to stand up and applaud like a seal. That is magnificent stuff indeed. And Alibi back up into 10th position. That is great stuff indeed. I must say, this race is not good. I think this race would not be an all-time classic, but goodness me, we could absolutely applaud some of the racecraft that has been on hand here tonight. It's been brilliant, hasn't it, to say the least. Your driver of the day poll is out now. Get your votes in, ladies and gentlemen, there. And they are Vessier, Dr. Troop, and Nude Potato then. Get your votes coming in then because, I gotta say, yes, that's very important to the drivers then, of course. And Jay Hings has now just dropped down into 5th position. He had good qualifying pace, didn't he? But race trim, he has struggled a bit then. Alibi is harvesting quite heavily here. Yellow flag in turn 1 then as the McLaren of starts again out of the way, I believe. And up into 10th position goes Kiki again. There's once again Sparks. And once again, Alibi's up the circuit. And that McLaren there of starts just doing a bit of lawnmower in there. The only bit of grass that's in Bahrain. So just watching Scooby Shoes got a 3-second penalty as well. Swan Shanks and Duncan Dave also scrapping away. Currently, all the drivers in the top 10 have not got any penalties then, which is fantastic to see, isn't it? As we come into the twilight of this Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed. They're very tight and crisp, which I do like crisps, and I'm also very tight as well. In terms of the purse strings, anyway. As we've got New Potato up the inside. There's me absolutely talking rubbish about the soft tyres. New Potato up into 5th position. And I think the New Potato, I'm wondering that I'd be interested to know a lot of these drivers' psyches coming into this race there, and whether and what they was planning on doing or planning on doing for that season. And that's one thing that I would love to probably do is just always get like a one-liner from the drivers to say what their actual ambitions are for the season, but I doubt anyone will ever let us know, will they? Really, to be fair, because of because of course you don't know, especially on a game, especially on a new game. Look at New Potato then. Look at that. Just shows how much the electric recovery system very much powers your car down these back straights there. It's very incredible indeed, isn't it? Alibi is now 7/10 of a second away from Kiki and starting to drop off his Kiki. Well, I say he's starting to drop off, but he's back in the slipstream now. He may be able to have a go down into turn 4. Car 13 for Alibi, and he's just outside the points at the moment now. Alibi is on I think unfortunately it's going to be a bit of an uphill climb now to get himself back into position. board, Duncan Dave, because Duncan Dave was, he would have been 10th on the grid, wouldn't he? But unfortunately, he spun here, and then the FIA gave him a black flag for driving the wrong way when he was just trying to recover, really. So I wish there'd be a bit more room for error in qualifying, because Duncan Dave was certainly not driving the wrong way at all. He was just trying to get himself back onto the circuit in a sensible fashion possible, but unfortunately that has cost him, I think, in this race, and he's down in 16th now, which is a bit disappointing. And as both Williamses then would be a bit disappointed with where they're going to finish, I think, now with TK in 7th position and Duncan Dave down in 16th position, unfortunately. We're on at lap number 28 of this race, and we're on board with a new potato, and I think he's actually timed these soft tires to perfection. He's now been in 4th position there. Great recovery drive here from new potato. I was questioning whether he's going to be able to get those soft tires to the end, and while he's done more than that, he's kept the pace. He is in 4th position now, and he's going to get 12 points for himself and the Ferrari team then, so I think they'll be overjoyed at that. Dr. Troop, 67% of the vote there, 33% there for Vessier. Keep your votes coming in, ladies and gents, and the voting will close at the end of the stream, or something like that. Watching New Potatoes then, as he has just got past Dynamo Dan, who is in 5th position. And of course, Dynamo Dan very much in the Haas and car number 7 there. Dynamo Dan is very much Mr. Consistent, isn't he? He's going to be 5th today, which he'll be happy about them, because remember, his championship campaign this time last season, he didn't have any points because he didn't start the first race of the season. And so he's already 10 in front of where he was last season. He had a very good season as well, didn't he? As into the pits comes Scooby Stew, and I'm wondering, Scooby Stew's got a 5-second penalty, unfortunately. I was wondering if he might come in and just try and go for that, fast lap. He is indeed that. He is going on the soft tires now. Scooby Stew has down in 18th position, then, whilst his teammate Dr. Troops then out of the final corner then to start his final lap. Then I think can Dan stay in front of Jay Higgs? I think he can. Vessier has been eaten into the lead, Dr. Troops' lead then, ever so slightly. But I feel that Vessier then maybe it's qualifying let him down here. Am I being too harsh on the man? I am, ain't I? But Dr. Troops, what an incredible way to start his campaign, and that was certainly not in my season preview book, was it, for Dr. Troop? An incredible performance there from Dr. Troops. We got one of the Red Bulls of Alibi, I think, has had an issue then down the back straight, unfortunately, and is I think he's back at the speed now, isn't he? There? But unfortunately, Alibi, well, I know he's cruising, Alibi, so there's problems there for the Red Bull, and he's Ghost as well. It looks like, is he ran out of fuel, Alibi? I'm wondering, unless he's well, it looks always peace are in the right direction there for Alibi, but yeah, issues there for Alibi. Just watching Dr. Troop, who's just locked his teammate Scooby Stew. No fuel, Alibi is saying. Yes, he unfortunately has got no fuel then, so Alibi dropping down the order, and I think that that was probably because of that incredible battle between himself, Kiki, and the battles that he had, Alibi, over the course of the race. Impressive stuff indeed then. But not as impressive as this one here. Dr. Troops in only his 3rd race in bronze there. This is going to be his first finish in bronze as well. And not only that there, he is going to win the Bahrain Grand Prix. Lets his teammate go for fast lap as well, because that could be crucial for Alpine then. But Alpine, the Constructors World Champion, started off with a win here in bronze, and Dr. Troops wins his first ever race in ALR Bronze, and he wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. And wow, that is not something that I was expecting. And these so-called pundits and commentators, they have no idea what they're talking about. But Dr. Troops, a magnificent performance there, really dominated this race there, didn't he, Dr. Troops? Dr. Troops did, with Vessier, great driving 2nd position, with Slayer in 3rd as well. New Potato in 4th position there. Great strategy, go for the hard, so soft tires. It paid a treat towards the end of this race then. Good stuff indeed, Dennis. We are now just coming to the end of these finishes as well as Swan Shanks up to 13th in the end. Duncan Dave, oh goodness me, up into 13th there. Siggers Mug then in 16th position with Alibi in 17th there. He should just be able to get to the end, and the Scooby Stew was trying to was just put on a new set of soft tires, and I wonder if he might be able to pip Alibi before the end here. Alibi is really struggling, isn't it? So it might be a photo finish here. Styles finishes 19th 18th then in the McLaren. Oh, Scooby Stew really pushing, isn't he? There, very much pushing on the edge of this, but I think he's going to be too little too late now for Scooby Stew, unfortunately. And goodness gracious me. Out of the final turn then, and Scooby Stew is going to finish 18th then, but it is Dr. Troop then who has absolutely been in impeccable form now. What a performance for Dr. Troop then. And Alpine then, well, they've got a very inexperienced lineup, haven't they? But goodness gracious me, what a start. They start as they mean to go on from last season. Wow, incredible stuff indeed. And then as you see that the drivers are clapping on the podium there. Magnificent stuff indeed. And of course, I think that Dr. Troops, wow, magnificent stuff indeed. By the way, I like Vessier's profile picture. That's fantastic. And Dr. Troops, I love it. Right, as the bubbly is being sprayed, then let's take a final look at the classification then from the first race of the season here in Bahrain. Well, it was lights the flag, really. It's almost the most simplest of races for Dr. Troops. Incredible performance, impeccable, brilliant stuff indeed. Vessier second day there, I think it's qualifying, let him down. I would have been very interested to see what Vessier and Dr. Troops would have been like in an all-out scrap under the lights. Slayer up in the third there with New Potato in fourth. Fifth was Dynamo Dan, Jay Higgs in sixth position. TK seventh, but got fastest lap in the end. Serious Mushroom 18th to 8th. 9th is Marski. 10th is Kiki. Just outside the points, Smithfield Mighty and Lemfair. Vintage 12th. Duncan Dave 13th. Swan Shanks 14th. Winnie 15th. Siggersmuck 16th. Alibi 17th. Scooby Stew 18th. Stars in 19th position. And Itemizer retired from the Grand Prix, unfortunately. And I think I've got the guys who finished first and second in the commentary box as well. And Dr. Troop said, well, I must say that that was absolutely incredible then. That looked the most simplest of league race wins I have ever seen there. But talk us about it from your point of view.
Yeah, from the start I had a pretty good start, and then behind me there was some carnage. So the gap was about 4 seconds after 4 laps, and I maintained it throughout the whole race, really.
And was there any challenges from your point of view then? Was you concerned about anything in terms of tyre wear or anything like that? I must say, it just looked absolutely like a very peaceful Tuesday night drive from our point of view.
Yeah, I was expecting the medium runners to catch a bit more to me, but they didn't catch as much as I thought it would be. So, yeah.
And I must say that very, very bashfully, I didn't have you in my season prediction as maybe one to challenge for the championship, but I've completely changed my mind straight away then. An incredible qualifying, an incredible race trim as well then. What are you going to make for this? Is this going to be an easy season for you? You're going to run away with it?
I don't know, I'm new to the league, and I don't really know everyone's pace yet, so we'll see.
And I certainly cannot wait. Well done today, Dr. Troops. Really good stuff indeed. But before you let you go, then going on to Saudi Arabia, it's a street circuit, slightly more different than in Bahrain. Then, how are you feeling for street circuits then, or are you just going to take it as they come?
I've not really done Jet on this game yet, so I'll see if it's my track or not. But I'll go for the win anyway.
As casual as you like, incredible stuff. Well done today, Dr. Troops. Brilliant drive indeed, though, of course. Your first Grand Prix win of bronze, magnificent stuff. I think the first of many as well. Well done today. Let's go to Vessier, who finished second today. Vessier, I was saying in the comms box that I think it was your qualifying that let you down there, because at the end there you did have a bit of pace then. But talk us about qualifying first there. Only 7th on the grid. What went on there?
Yeah, my first lap was at the start of the session, so it was pretty much a banker. And then my second lap, Dakuna got disqualified and his car rejoined the circuit, so I had to lift off and I lost about 2/10 there.
Yeah, that was very unlucky. That was Duncan Dave, by the way, he spun, and unfortunately, the game just instantly disqualified him when he was just trying to get back on the track. So that was a bad moment for both you and Duncan Dave, unfortunately. But then going on to the race, and you was making your way through the field quite nicely, but you really start to light up the timing sheets on that second stint then on those medium tires. Then, do you think if you was higher up the grid, you could have challenged Dr. Troops today?
No, I think the first lap let me down. Because me and Nude Potato got in a bit of a tanglement at turn 2, so kind of that dropped me down to P13 at the start, and then I had to get through the field on my hards. So I got up to P2 before everyone pit. So I think that was my better stint than the other two, and then um, the mediums, they weren't as quick as I thought that they would be compared to the hards. So yeah, otherwise pretty good race.
Well, we missed that at the start between yourself and New Potato. Do you want to expand a bit more on what happened there?
Yeah, so I was on the outside of turn 1, and everyone bunched up into there, and there was a little bit of contact. And then obviously I was on the inside for turn 2, um, and I didn't get left enough space. I tried to back out, but unfortunately, New Potato spun out, and I lost a lot of time. So yeah, it was a bit unfortunate.
Unlucky, but what an incredible run to P2 today. Well done today, Vessier. Brilliant stuff indeed,
Cheers.
then a very strong start. And Slayer, then a great drive to third today. It seems like you've never been away, my good sir. Talking about your race, then, it seemed to be very much thick and fast action all the way through. You was always looking over your shoulder or looking to attack.
Yeah, I didn't really get a break the entire race. The time I got a break was crossing the finishing line. Um, lap one, somehow got from like sixth to second by turn three, just staying on the inside and then avoiding two people. I think someone had to give a position back on the main straight and took advantage of it. But then I had TK. I think it was in the early laps, and unfortunately we had contact. I didn't have any more room to go off the circuit, but I think it was just a racing incident, if anything. Um, but we'll see. But besides that, luckily I managed to make my way back up and keep some of the guys behind who undercut me. So yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Going, so the run down to turn 1, then you went on the inside. Was that your plan all along then, just to stick to the inside to avoid the carnage, or can't you plan when you go down to turn 1? Is it just more about instinct?
No, you can't plan. I had an okay start. I was just gonna sit in behind, but a couple cars broke quite late, so I just went to the inside and set myself up for the exit of turn 2. And it just so happened it worked out. There was cars squabbling, and I could make it around the outside.
And then you also mentioned about the incident with yourself and TK. Then you did say it was a racing incident, and you was it just like a wrong place, wrong time? Because it sounded like that you had nowhere else to go. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's an awkward one. He was on my inside. I hung around the outside, and he was mostly ahead going on the exit, but his car kept drifting over, and I had half my car left on the track, and so I basically got ran out of room. But I don't know how it will be seen, but at the end of the day, I didn't take damage from it, so luckily I was able to work my way back up.
And get to P3 as well, and which is the most important thing. You see, I do love asking the drivers about the about the incidents. There, it's a juicy part of racing, which we all want to hear, isn't it? Great stuff indeed. Right, that is going to be it then for tonight. Bronze, magnificent stuff indeed. Then it has been an action-packed start to ALR, hasn't it? Here in Bahrain, then gold, silver, and bronze has been 3 very different races, hasn't it? There, of course, gold was very much an incident-packed race. Silver was the closest race you ever had, and bronze today. Then Dr. Troop commanding. Tomorrow night we're going to go for F2 then, or Wednesday night then, so looking forward to that. But yeah, the championship racing is back in ALR. Cannot wait. We'll see you in Saudi Arabia next week then. Unless you're an F2 fan, I'll see you tomorrow night. Goodbye.